Welcome to Creating a Virtual VIP Intensive Business Model Made Easy. I am AliNICOLE WOW, She Does It All, and I am joined by Genuine Leadership Power Enhancer Gina Gardner, and she's going to be actually providing commentary on the shared content, and she will also be sharing from her experience of working with me in this creation a process of her own VIP intensive models. And then she's also going to direct you to her leadership training hub where you can actually see a few of her options. So Gina, thanks so much for joining me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you are most welcome. I'm really excited about this, and I know that you've been, building your VIP models, and they're incredible. So I'm going to jump right into the content, and then I will invite you back so we can have some collaboration and hear just anything that you would like to share. So you ready to get started?
I am indeed.
Great. Thank you again for being here. So I want to just initially start with addressing coaches and consultants, and hopefully most of you who are tuning into this are familiar with the VIP day models. And so I'm not going to get into really the breakdown, of those models. I'm going to share a little bit about that, but this is really specifically for individuals who are already familiar with the models or with the concepts. So being able to create these more lighter and lucrative models is very important moving forward as the marketplace dynamics are continuing to shift. And so my recommendation is that instead of creating coaching and consulting business models that still tailor to the one-on-one services, and even if you have these right now, this is going to be a great time for shifting because you want to start considering simplifying, multiplying, and maximizing your model. And so I'm going to talk about starting to create a 5 to 7 tier virtual VIP intensive business model. And there are actually many ways that you can create these. So this is a business model that consists of providing accelerated formats of concentrated trainings or coaching programs that are delivered in an intensive format during a day or over a weekend or even a month. And I'm going to share a few examples. And this particular model that I'm going to be sharing can be leveraged as a part-time or a full-time initiative, or it could be just part of what I call your a la carte of offerings for another revenue stream. And I will say to those who are coaches and have full practices, and that is your primary thing, that if you want to leverage this more for your primary business focus, like on a main website, then you are going to need to create a core business theme for your VIP tiers, and then start to develop the different levels of your VIP experience. Something else that I want to mention is that if it's a part-time, you can still leverage it in what I talked about. But I mainly would suggest that if it is a part-time or leverage from another source of income, you're just wanting to create another additional revenue stream, then you can actually create a Tumblr microblog or a Weebly platform to showcase the offerings and create a 3 to 5 part blog series to leverage as your evergreen marketing. You would still need a core theme or a niche focus, to name the platform. But again, the reason why I'm suggesting this is because if you aren't wanting to use this on your primary site, then you want to have it categorized, in a different way. So a core theme could be that you serve leaders, and you'll actually see how Gina does hers, and we'll talk about that because that's been her primary core focus is serving different levels of leaders. But this, can be for business owners, or you could just have a core niche focus and then start to develop a multi-level tier of options. So within your tier, as I mentioned, you're going to need 3 to 5, 7 options. Yet make one of the options your primary signature service star. So meaning it's your star that you promote consistently, and it's the most recommended by you. So a simple model is to create VIP Day workspace planners. Now, what this consists of is it provides a VIP Day experience in a self-guided process in a workbook format. And then the second one is to create a VIP Day in a box. So this can be an audio or digital version of a self-guided VIP intensive with downloadable materials. You could also leverage your VIP Day workspace planner as a companion, to it. The third one would be to create a signature VIP Day intensive. And so what this looks like is a 5 to 5.5 hour experience with sessions and breaks. Now, sometimes people do make them longer to, 8 hours. It just depends on what all it consists of. But primarily, you want to just have the 5 to 5.5 hours. And there is also an option that you can do a VIP half day that's 2.5, to 3 hours. I recommend that this be actually the signature star, that your actual VIP day be the signature star service that you feature as a highlight. The fourth one is create a signature VIP intensive weekend. Now, this is creating much like the initial VIP intensive, but what you would be doing is creating 2 to 5.5 hour focus days with an expanded version of your signature VIP day, or you could break the one day up into 2 days and just have more work break sessions. So that's an option as well, is that you could take your initial VIP day and then just, facilitate that over a weekend. And the fifth one is to create a signature VIP intensive month. This can include one VIP day or a VIP weekend with 2 or 3 additional coaching sessions. And then the sixth one is create a signature VIP 90-day acceleration intensive. So what you would actually be doing here is designing a mini program for continual expansion for those who have already invested in one or more of your VIP intensive offerings. And then the seventh option is create a combo of virtual and live VIP intensives. And you can create a high-end tier with live VIP intensive formats, speaking events. These could be masterminds. You can also do a prerequisite virtual training that will be your virtual component that starts to prepare your clients for the actual live VIP, intensive experience. So these are, just a few options, and you don't actually have to incorporate all of these. these are just options, but I do recommend having the 3, at least 3 to 5, but I have the 7 because that's just for, expanding. My most recommended model would be that you have the first 3, and that's the VIP workspace planners, the VIP day in a box, and then your signature VIP day. You want to be able to have products that are easily accessible and have, those types of options available for those who maybe can't schedule a VIP day with you, or they're looking to do kind of things at their own pace and create their own customized, intensive, just leveraging, what you provide. So the first 3, I would say you definitely, want to have those. Now, there is no order that you need to do these in terms of, I've listed them as options 1 through 7, but you can start creating where you feel most guided. Now, one of the things I actually will recommend is that I actually teach that people start with their big rocks first. And so basically creating the signature program or the signature VIP day, and then creating, the lower hanging fruit options. But if it's easier for you to jump in and just create your VIP day experience in the Workspace Planner, and at least then have that option on the market, and then start leveraging that so that you can lead it into your other VIP days, even if you don't have that VIP day actually created, you could, use that and then allow that content to expand into the VIP day of the box, and then initially having the actual signature VIP day. So, those are just some considerations. And for this continuation of having more lighter and lucrative model options, because again, I mentioned that's where things are headed and you want to have those. I'm also going to include a link in the description to my masterclass training, the Lucrative Coaching Model Reset, 5 key models to leverage for restarting your coaching practice. And Gina graciously hosted this masterclass training for me. So with this being said, I would like to invite Gina in at this time. Gina, I would love to hear just any of your thoughts around this, and we can talk a little bit about your process too.
I would say to those people who perhaps have been stuck in doing things in a very traditional way, that by creating a lighter model, that you give yourself the opportunity to refine and bring things down to the essence, if you like. So, and for me, that in a sense, there've been 2 ways in. My first experience was to create a VIP intensive for leaders, and I've got nearly over 30 years experience in developing leaders. And so moving away from the traditional way of delivering those, to look at, okay, if I'm going to narrow it down to the essence in 1 and 2 days. And for me, I made my first day the foundation day, if you like, my second day the expansion. It really made me hone into, okay, what are the really important things? And also to think about what would I expect people to, where would I expect them to be up to before they came onto the VIP day? I went from there to then creating my publications, and to start with around leadership. But then out of a different conversation, I started to recognize that I had a lot of experience working with empaths. And so created first and foremost a book, first level book, Harnessing Your Power as an Empath product. Then created a VIP 1 day and 2 days. And then out of that have created a VIP intensive in a box, and at the same time as creating the PowerPoint, the presentation and the activities, I've also created the activity book and the PowerPoint presentation, slight differences, but much of the same content for my group intensive. So one of the, I think the principles of this is your audience may come to you from a different route and perhaps at a different level of experience and vibration, but you can utilize that same content in a number of different ways. And that's now created the platform for me to create a new publication for people who've been through all of that.
That's right.
So that's stepping into your power. And so there'll be a second level of VIP intensives. And then out of that already now in the planning stage of a third level, because I'm leveling up all the time, I'm then utilizing that experience. And because the model is, you call it light, I would call it efficient, because in many ways, the word you use about intensives, because you've got a limited amount of time that you're setting aside for this, it really hones the mind, and you really have to identify what is truly important. And so that's been I think a really positive way forward. And it's a model that sort of not reincarnates itself, but each thing acts as a platform for the next level of development and the next level of development and so on. So it's been a very positive one for me.
Great. And you've done, such an excellent and amazing job. And I loved all of your commentary. And the lighter model is about, efficiency and effectiveness. And the thing about it is, when you're not having to work in the traditional formats and you have something that's very streamlined and focused, in this way, it just makes the whole process more simplified, where you can prioritize and organize and ultimately really harmonize, your business, endeavors. And just being able to think, okay, I can plan out to have VIP days on this particular time, and because they're more lucrative, and that's something I get, more into different trainings. But what I would like to have you do, actually, Gina, is share the website for your training hub. And I believe that when others go there, they'll be able to see, when they click on, how you direct them to click on different links or tabs, within there, they can see some of your options. So could you provide your website, please?
Absolutely. It's Gina Gardner Associates. It's Gina, Gina, Gardiner, Gardiner, associates.co.uk. And you'll find there that for pretty well all of the different lozenges, there's 1 and 2 day options. There's one where there's just a 1 day option. And they're designed for groups, anything between 6 and 10 people.
Yes, and they're wonderful. And she's going to be having VIP day in the box components, added, to those, as well. Something I want to point out real quick is that Gina has this training hub, but also aside from that, because she has different business level empires, she also is leveraging VIP experiences even outside of this particular one, where some are just the platforms that have specific ones. And so there's a variety of ways that you can leverage this type of model, whether within a larger context, or as I mentioned, or just something aside. And if you actually would like to learn more about how you can work with Gina and I on designing your VIP intensive models, or even if you want to explore some of the related resources, you'll find the information in the description box, and also the link to Gina's site will be there as well. Gina and I would love to help you take what you're doing to the next level to create these lighter and, as she said, more efficient types of models, so that you can really set yourself up for the higher end advantage, and in a much more simplified, smarter way, of doing business. And so, Gina, I just want to thank you again for being here with me and sharing your experience, and also too allowing others to check out your website of your examples. Before we close out, do you have a closing word that you would like to share, encourage any of those who have heard this content?
I would say if you are someone who is a coach or a trainer and you've obviously got lots of experience, it's about how do you break this down and utilize that experience in the most productive and efficient way. By doing it that way, you can reach more people. So this is not only are you able to create a more profitable business, but also through that you are able to support and help other people's growth in a whole different way.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I could not agree with you more. Well stated. And again, Gina, thank you so much for being here and sharing uh, your wisdom and knowledge around this, and also your availability to help others navigate this process. And looking forward to you and I helping others do so much more with their businesses with this initiative. So I just appreciate you, Gina.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I would say, a lot. This has come through working with AliNICOLE, and it is such a powerful model. So, do think about what you're doing and give yourself the gift of creating things in a different way.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Gina. I appreciate you. And I just want to send my own parting words of encouragement and empowerment that you deserve to level up yourself in ways like never before. And this is the perfect time to start repositioning what you do so that you can ultimately repurpose your experience and multiply it in such a way that can make a tremendous impact in the way that you do business and the way that you impact and others and what you facilitate, for them. So appreciative of you joining us for this experience today. And we both look forward to bringing you more trainings of this nature in the near future.